Cruz, the Crusher. It's almost here. We're almost at the point we've been waiting for since the beginning of this podcast.
What's that, Vance?
The AEW Double or Nothing ticket announcement party that starts in 1 hour and 30 minutes East Coast time.
Oh my God.
I think it's 1 hour and 30 minutes West Coast time too.
Yeah, it's already almost time. Holy shit. We're going to go to that, aren't we, Vance?
We are going to Double or Nothing. We'll be broadcasting for Double or Nothing. We have a lot of really cool stuff planned.
Hell yeah, I'm super stoked. I like that sweatshirt that you're wearing, Vance. For those that can't see,
the official
you're wearing
AEW. Man, got that AEW fucking swag on.
I need to get me
available
some
at ProWrestlingTees.com.
There you go. Boop. Or if anybody wants to send us stuff.
Yeah, if you want to send us cool wrestling related stuff or other stuff, well, we shouldn't say other stuff because Cruz gets weird stuff as it is.
You know, I got fan mail from jail recently, so if we want to give the audience an idea of the kind of weird shit that I get,
really?
Send wrestling. Send wrestling stuff.
Was it wrestling related? Do they have WWE in prison?
No, I think they just have access to being able to write letters and or
was
emails.
His Twitter name Hell in a Cell?
You know what? Let's just roll with that.
Cruz, what are we going to talk about this week? There's a lot to dive into. There's a lot of, you know what I was watching before we started this podcast?
What were you watching?
I don't know if you caught it, but did you watch the When Worlds Collide tournament on the network?
No. Tell me more, Vance.
So they took guys from NXT, NXT UK, and 205 Live, and they put them in a battle royal. And then as they were eliminated, they got into a round robin tournament.
Ooh.
That the Velveteen Dream ended up winning this tournament.
Oh.
And the winner of the tournament could challenge for any belt on any of the brands. So you can go for the NXT UK belt or fucking
shit.
Live belt.
Yeah, I don't know. Cruiserweight.
The Cruiserweight Championship.
The Cruiser.
Right. And that's why this week on NXT, as you saw, he came out and challenged Johnny Gargano for the United States, not the United States. What are they calling it? The
North American.
North
American Championship, Vance.
And the champion of North America.
So the Velveteen Dream won this battle royal. What was it called? When Worlds Collide?
When Worlds Collide. It was on the network.
I need to check this out. I don't know why the fuck I haven't seen this.
Yeah, it was super dope.
So the Velveteen won. Spoilers.
Velveteen. Oh yeah, we should say that.
So he challenged Gargano for the North American Championship. And when is that fight happening?
In 2 weeks on NXT. But technically, Cruz, that fight already happened because NXT is
spoilers. La 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 la.
So if you don't want spoilers, then you probably shouldn't listen to or watch the next 2 minutes.
Oh, the next 2 minutes. Okay, so wait, you're going to give spoilers right now, Vance.
I'm about to spoil this motherfucker.
Full disclaimer to anybody listening and or watching. Spoilers ahead. Okay, go on. Go on. Do I want to hear this?
Now
I'm going to not be surprised. Just fucking tell me. You're going to tell me anyways.
I'm going to tell you anyways. Let's just say that the North American title is now under a Purple Rain.
Oh, shit! Purple Rain!
I just want to do that with the lights.
So you're telling me right now, it hasn't been publicized, but obviously, again, spoilers.
It'll air in
You're telling me that there is now a new North American champion in the form of Velveteen Dream. Is that what you're telling me, Vance?
In the form of the Velveteen Dream. Dream over, baby.
So what do you think all that stuff was with him, making his Twitter private, him talking about his character and how you won't see anything like it until he can come to an agreement with W. Do you think that was all a work? I mean, it was kind of
that was a work. That was definitely a work. Because you know why? They've taken the buzz of AEW capturing everybody and Dean Ambrose leaving, and they're using it to get this guy more heat.
Do you think that Mr. Jonathan Good, aka Dean Ambrose, is really leaving though?
Yes. I believe he's unhappy with the company. I believe he's not. Although Monday night, that's the Dean I love.
Oh, yeah.
The
Can we
Mitch,
talk
the
about this
Mitch
for a second?
Hedberg Dean.
Really? Okay. So, Alexa Bliss, okay, they're really trying to bring back a lot of shit from the Attitude Era, okay, Vance?
That's true.
They did the intergender wrestling with, Nia Jax jumping into the men's rumble.
Right.
They're trying to sexualize everything again, because you and I have complained in the past how WWE seems so PG now compared to the Attitude Era, right? So
Needs
PG,
more TNA,
family friendly, and then recently they started doing these storylines that involved, Mandy Rose and a towel.
Not complaining.
Then you got this past Monday Night Raw, you have Alexa Bliss doing her moment of bliss, boring ass fucking segment where now there's like innuendos going on there between her and EC3, where she what was the line that she said? Something about like you have such a big wallet or something like that. Something about his money.
Oh, big bank account.
Yeah, big bank account. And like all the sexual I'm like, oh, okay, like they're really throwing it way back, kind of,
I don't
the
blame
bottom
them.
line.
All the stops.
No, of course. I don't blame him at all either. But I hate EC3. You already know how I feel about him.
You really do hate EC3.
And like when Dean came out and was like not Bane Dean Ambrose, right? Like this was Dean coming out and like making jokes like, oh, so tell me what EC3 stand. Where's EC1 and EC2 at?
Where's EC1 and where's EC2 was the highlight of my day.
That fucking had me cracking up. I'm kind of bummed that EC3 won that match because I hate him. But anyways.
Well, obviously he's going to win, especially if Dean's on his way out.
Well, yeah. And that's what I figured. Like, okay, now they're just going to. I almost feel like, do you feel like because, the Dean that we saw, let me just rephrase, on Monday Night Raw, is a little different than the Dean we have been seeing lately. Do you think that because he is leaving, right? And we both believe that he truly is leaving, okay?
Right.
Do you think that they kind of just gave him the open reins to just be himself again, or what he wants to be?
I think that his little farewell tour is going to be really interesting. I really hope they did that, and I hope that they did that because they want to leave the door open to him coming back. Because here's the thing: if AEW crashes and burns, all these guys are going to need somewhere to go because there's only really you can go to the indies and you can make decent money, but if Cody and the Bucks fail at this AEW thing, which I don't think is going to happen. But if it does, I mean, the WWE wants to be like, hey, we get you want to go do your own thing. You want to do this, your project, this little pet project.
Right. And I guess. Go ahead.
It's almost like when a lead singer of a band goes off and does his own thing. He's always welcome to come back to them.
Right. Like, solo album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I guess in a sense, because everyone is kind of like still speculating and skeptical rather, unlike whether or not he really is leaving. And I feel like if WWE is going to put out a statement like, oh, he's welcome back, because that was one of the reasons why a lot of people are skeptical in the first place. Like, why is WWE posting publicly, oh, well, he's always welcome back? But I guess you make a valid point that, maybe they are aware, AEW's brand new. We don't even know what's going to happen with that yet. But, Dean, right. We hate to see you go. But if this crashes and burns, then you're welcome to come back.
Right. So and the other thing, too, is, I think that they also wanted to capitalize on all the attention it's getting on all the other websites. And that WWE doesn't want to miss out on those clicks. You know, because if everybody's reporting Dean Ambrose is leaving and WWE is like, no. Like, they look like idiots. Where if they cut the thing off at the head and they're like, hey, you know, Dean Ambrose is leaving, you know, we wish him the best of luck, and his real name's Jonathan Good. That said it right there. I think that once they put his real name out there, that's how I knew it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, because they don't really post anybody's real name. If
Ever.
It is, yeah. Interesting.
So it's going to be a real interesting couple of months.
It is going to be an interesting couple of months. For
WrestleMania season got a lot more interesting.
Yeah, and there's just so much other speculation. We're going to dive right into that in just a second. But with everything else that's going on, right? Should we just get into it? Like starting with Raw, Vance? What happened on Monday Night Raw?
Get right into it.
Yeah, we do. So Monday Night Raw, Stephanie McMahon
Helmsley.
invited Becky Lynch to Monday Night Raw and basically told her, you need to go to the doctor. By the way, Vance, did you notice that? What? What do you think I was going to say?
You're talking about something else, never mind. Go to the doctor.
Oh my God. Okay, anyways.
You need to go to the doctor because I might have had something.
Did you shut up? Did you know that did you realize that Becky Lynch was clutching the wrong leg that she injured and then had the
No.
Yes, Vance.
Really?
Yeah, yes, Vance. Yes. Actually, I got this information from our good friend David LaGreca from Busted Open Radio on Sirius XM 93. He actually made a comment about an observation, okay? That Becky Lynch hurt her knee, right, in the Rumble, and was caught clutching the wrong knee, and then also showed up to Raw with a brace on the wrong injured leg.
Yep. You know what? You're right. According to our friends at Ringside News, Becky Lynch botched knee injury.
Go on.
And on last night's SmackDown, she grabbed the wrong knee from the bump she took at the Royal Rumble. So, yeah.
Now, go ahead.
She screwed up. That was what I was going to say.
Everyone went nuts when Dave LaGreca posted that on the Twitter. Okay. There's a lot of diehard Becky fans. Almost, okay, you know what that kind of reminded me of a little bit, Vance, between her and Stephanie. We're trying to relive a Stone Cold fucking Vince McMahon situation in the middle of the ring here, you know? You better go see a doctor. And she's like, nope. I gotta go see a doctor. Well, then you're suspended. And then, oh, okay, woo, we saw that coming. And then Becky Lynch beats on Stephanie. And then the next day, was it the next day? Was it SmackDown that Triple H came out?
SmackDown's on Tuesdays, Cruz. Yes.
No. But I'm saying when Triple H confronted her, that happened on SmackDown.
He was on SmackDown. Yeah. She got in his face.
Yeah. So it's just kind of...
You can go to the doctor, but you're afraid. You need a way out because Becky fears Ronda. Because we can't play the clip, so that was just me impersonating.
No, I actually like your impersonation, so that was perfect, Vance. That was perfect. How do you feel about this whole? How do you feel about this whole Becky Lynch thing, Vance? I know that
Becky Lynch is the female Daniel Bryan.
You think she's the female Daniel Bryan? That's a first, considering that everybody keeps comparing her to Stone Cold.
I don't think she's Stone Cold. She's not Stone Cold. I think she's more of a Daniel Bryan story where it's the crowd is so behind her that they're willing her into the main event. Whereas like the Authority or whatever is trying to hold her back. Just like Daniel Bryan, just like New Orleans. It was the exact same thing at WrestleMania 30. You know, they're going to make her go through hell. Baby, here's my new prediction for WrestleMania now.
Okay.
I think, and I was going to talk about this when we did our universe question, but just the way they did Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30, winning the belt. He had to beat Triple H and then beat Batista and Randy Orton in a triple threat to win the title.
Okay.
I think we might see Becky versus Charlotte and at like a one-on-one, and then Becky and Ronda in the main event. Like Becky versus Charlotte, and then winner goes on to face Ronda.
Oh, you mean before WrestleMania?
Or I think during WrestleMania even.
Oh shit. Because there's a lot of talks. And we'll get more into this a little bit later when we consult what the universe has to say about this. But because of this whole injury, her knee injury, and you even called it, Vance. You said, "Oh, they're gonna do something with this whole knee thing, right?"
Yep.
Clearly, they are. They totally are, and almost feels like
Charlotte right there with everything going on.
That's what I'm saying. Like Charlotte, like. Now, and the Becky Lynch fans, and I'm not by any means saying that I don't like her or anything like that, right? Like, of course I like Becky, but I think
you don't like her the way you don't like short men. That's what I got from that. To you, Becky Lynch is a tall man.
Listen. I'm all for Becky, but a lot of the die-hard fandom surrounding her I think is a little slightly unusual,
I think it's a flash in the pan.
Like everybody knows who anyone outside of wrestling knows who Charlotte Flair is. Okay, if you don't follow wrestling, you know who Charlotte Flair is. That's a name.
Yeah, but they only know that because Ric Flair's daughter.
Okay,
she's not like I think that's not fair to compare.
Okay, so you don't think that's a fair comparison. But do you agree though that like anybody that doesn't watch wrestling, of course they know who Charlotte Flair is, but anybody that doesn't follow wrestling probably doesn't know who Becky Lynch is?
I don't think Becky Lynch is selling tickets. I think people don't go to the shows to see Becky Lynch. They go to the shows to cheer Becky Lynch. So
because exactly, and that's a good point that you're making, because that's exactly what's happening, right? Ronda, every time before Becky Lynch went way over with the fans, right? But before all that happened, and Ronda, just like started out, everybody would cheer for Ronda. That's all you would hear was cheers. You would almost never hear anybody booing, right?
But did you hear Ronda talking shit about the hometown on Raw?
Yeah, dude.
So Ronda's going bad. Ronda's going Brock Lesnar. She's going female Brock Lesnar, where it's like, I'm just here to fucking show that I'm a tough bitch and like all this shit. And then at WrestleMania, when she goes to have her kid or whatever, she's going to pass the reins on to Becky.
Did you hear what she said to Becky when she ran into her on Raw? Or was it Raw? Yeah, it was Raw.
You mean her secret to a bad knee? Her recipe?
Ice and Advil, bitch.
Ice and Advil, bitch.
It took me a minute. I was like, what did she just say? Ice and Advil. I thought she said something else. Like, did she just say something was nice? What? Like, what?
I think ice. Ass and Advil.
I thought she said like nice something, bitch. And then I was like, oh, ice and Advil. What the fuck? But yeah, like now, like what I was getting ready to say is that, everyone would always cheer Ronda, right?
Yep.
And now all you hear in the mixture of boos is just people chanting Becky's name. Even when Charlotte comes out, everybody's chanting Becky. It's like almost like the whole purpose of even
happened with Daniel Bryan. It's the exact same thing. During matches, they start chanting Daniel Bryan or yes. And
so I feel like
Daniel Bryan was in the ring.
It's the first time I've heard that comparison, because everyone keeps trying to compare her to Stone Cold. She did that stunner at a house show, like it's almost like, oh, are they trying to build her up to be like the Stone Cold of this era and yada yada yada. And the fact that you're comparing her to Daniel Bryan, everything, it makes sense to me.
I think that just, with Triple H and with the whole Stephanie thing, it just makes you think even more of like the Daniel Bryan thing.
Right.
And the Yes movement.
The Yes movement is dead, Vance. Yes is dead.
The Yes movement is dead.
Yes.
He's the planet's champion.
He's Captain Planet.
He's Captain Planet, and he now has Rowan as a. I don't know.
Yeah, what the hell is up with that? I still don't understand that.
Is Luke Harper hurt? Is that what's going on?
I honestly don't know.
Because I was really enjoying the Hammer Brothers.
The Hammer Brothers?
Yeah, where they came out with the big fucking hammers.
The Bludgeon Brothers?
Bludgeon Brothers. The Bludgeon Brothers.
I was going to say that.
I was really enjoying the fact that they show up with these stupid masks on and these big fucking rubber mallets. It beat the shit out of people. I think that was great.
And now are they just like no longer?
And now fucking Eric Rowan looks like he works at a flea market.
Didn't really get that. Like I said, no one really cared when he came out.
Because it's Eric Rowan.
And they don't even call him Eric Rowan either. They just call him Rowan.
Do you think they're rebuilding the Wyatt family out of this? You think Bray's going to come and get involved?
Ah, man, Bray Wyatt needs to come back.
Where the fuck is Bray? Where's Kevin Owens?
Where's Kevin Owens? I want to know where Kevin Owens is, because you want to talk about like a work and like this, that, and the other thing. You know, the last time we saw Kevin Owens, wasn't it that he got fired like on air or something?
Yeah, and then they brought him back like a week later.
Yeah, then they brought him back a week later.
He changed his Twitter profile and stuff.
He deleted all his posts, unfollowed everybody. Yep. But see, if you go to Kevin Owens' Twitter, he changed his name to Soon-ish. Almost kind of like, does that mean he's coming back?
At this point, either save him for WrestleMania or save him for the Raw after WrestleMania.
Well, because he was one of the ones that I was hoping to see in the Rumble, as part of the surprises. Like, who are we going to see? And we didn't see him. And, it's kind of like, what the fuck happened to him and Sami Zayn? The fuck, dude?
Yeah, Sami Zayn's like just injury prone.
Yeah, he's injured. Isn't he injured still?
Yeah, now he's running a Syrian refugee charity.
Is that really what he's doing?
That's a real thing, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like Sammy for Syria.
Okay, that's
Syria for Sammy.
Sammy for
Syria.
Interesting.
Something like that, but he collects money for Syrian refugees.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, I don't know, man, and what else happened on Raw and SmackDown? I mean, that's like the biggest thing.
Also on Raw, we had Double J, Jeff, JARE.
That's right. Him, dude. You want to know? Can I tell you what I'm really happy to see?
Elias is a bad guy again.
Heel Elias is back. You know how I feel about Elias. Never
God.
really was a fan of Elias. Then he became a face, and then I was like, what the fuck?
Hey, you know what I noticed about Elias?
What?
So, did you notice that he wears bandanas around his wrists?
Yes. That
I tried wearing a bandana around my wrist. Okay. And it looked like it was very fluffy. Like there was a lot of bandana. So, Elias must have like a pretty big wrist.
I mean, he's a pretty buff dude.
He's a ripped dude.
Alexa, how tall is Elias from the WWE? He's only 6 feet.
Oh, I like how they kept his name, Elias Sampson.
So Elias is 6 feet, but he's super buff though. So I would imagine
he's ripped.
His hands are probably they're probably pretty thick.
Like I don't have little wrists, but like I don't have Elias wrists. And then I had the bandana on. It just looked like I fucking had like a bad suicide attempt. I was like, what am I doing? You're like, what's wrong with you?
Were you trying to channel your inner Elias fans?
Trying to channel my inner Elias.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
See, here's what I learned. I learned this the hard way a few times, is that things that I think are cool that wrestlers wear to the ring are not necessarily cool to wear in public. Like I had one of those fucking sleeveless. You remember I had the sleeveless vest with the hood, the AJ Styles thing.
Yeah.
And I used to wear it, and like I used to think I was all badass because I'm all like this, and I'm like I am not buff at all. Why am I wearing this? People just think I'm going to mug them.
You know who else came out on Monday Night Raw was fucking Road Dogg, Vance.
The Roadie Road Dogg.
Mm-hmm.
The Road Dogg, the real singer of With My Baby Tonight that Jeff Jarrett stole. Taking you back to the nostalgic WWF Superstars era.
Throwing it way back.
What else happened? What'd you think of the main event?
The main event was so Kurt Angle came out to make an announcement, right?
Right.
And got rudely interrupted by my least favorite person, Baron Corbin. And
I think he's everyone's least favorite person.
Yeah, he it's funny, like he, when you look at Rhonda getting booed, you could tell she kind of takes it personally,
Yeah,
like super sensitive to when people boo her. I mean, for crying out loud, she disappeared from social media when she lost her fight in the UFC. You know what I mean?
She was suicidal.
You can imagine that, like, getting booed like that on live television probably fucks with you,
Well, that's your job.
Corbin fucking loves getting booed. He fucking loves it. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. He interrupts. Do you think? Let's just backtrack for a second. Do you think Angle was announcing his retirement? What do you think that was all about?
No. I think he was announcing his comeback full time.
Oh, spoiler alert.
I think Kurt Angle has a lot of good matches still left in him. Like, I would love to see Angle versus Daniel Bryan. I would love to see Angle versus Seth Rollins.
He's only 50. I think he's like 51. He's only 51.
Only.
Well, I mean, look at when we were looking at the ages, wasn't Triple H younger than HBK, Undertaker. Or was it vice versa? Undertaker.
No, I think HBK is younger.
Yeah, because I remember one of them was like in their 40s still. Like one of them was like 49 or something.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, so then that kind of turned into the whole main event for Monday Night Raw. It was Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre versus Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman came to save. Dude, that was kind of dumb. How like it was a disqualification.
Yeah, it was super lame.
It was like super
I didn't understand
lame.
that main event.
Like, but Corbin even said, he looks at the ref and he's like, "Oh, it's going to be a DQ," and then it's almost kind of like, "Come on, Braun, like don't fuck this up." And then Braun does it anyways, and then you're just kind of like, "What the fuck that was pointless." Like I literally was like, "That was pointless." That match was fucking.
Well,
pointless.
I think what they're doing is they're building back to Braun Strowman being a monster again, and like they're not giving a fuck, and he's gonna start tearing down buildings and shit again, because like this fucking weird. I'm a pussy, Braun Strowman just doesn't work.
I don't like that. I don't like the pussy fucking Braun. I like he's the monster among us. He should be a monster. Right. Remember Elimination Chamber last year when he was just like taking everybody out? Like, come on.
Yeah. So the Elimination Chamber, let's talk about that for a second. What matches have been announced? You got the Elimination Chamber for the WWE SmackDown Championship with Daniel Bryan, Mustafa Ali, Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, and Jeff Hardy, I think.
Yes. It's Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe,
Mustafa Ali, and Randy Orton.
Yeah, because Triple H came out.
Rumor alert. Allegedly, Randy Orton has been in talks with AEW.
Are we going to get into news now, or you want to wait till we get to the news?
Oh, wait. Let's talk about that later.
Yeah, so for the WWE Championship, it's Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Mustafa Ali, Randy Orton, and Samoa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Women's Tag Championship for the first ever Women's Tag Championship. Nia Jax and Tamina, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Riot Squad, the Iconics, Sasha and Bayley, Carmella and Naomi. Okay, Carmella and Naomi, that was an interesting
I feel like they're just throwing people together.
They
get through together. Nikki, I like how Alicia Fox is like the go-to, like, oh, you need a tag partner, let's throw you with Alicia Fox.
Do you remember
Nikki Cross and Fox together?
Do you remember when they? Yeah, Nikki Fox and Alicia Fox. That was a very odd like matchup.
Weird.
Yeah, and then remember when Naomi was teamed up with Asuka? We'll get to that in a minute because we'll get to that in a minute about Asuka. But yeah, that was like a weird thing, and the same with Naomi and Carmella. But anyways, then we have the WWE SmackDown Tag Championship between The Miz and Shane McMahon versus the Usos.
Oh man, I think this is what's going to lead to a WrestleMania match with Shane and The Miz. I think that there's going to be like some kind of weird miscommunication to let the Usos win, because let's get the tag division back to where it should be,
right?
And not like a fucking gimmick.
Agreed. And then finally, the Cruiserweight Championship between Buddy Murphy versus Akira Tozawa. So right now, that's what's going on.
Do you even know what Buddy Murphy looks like? Have we ever seen a Buddy Murphy?
Yeah, this is what he looks like. He's like a ginger, but he's Australian.
Wait, didn't Buddy Murphy used to date Alexa Bliss?
They're engaged, bro. What do you mean used to? They're engaged.
Okay. And that's probably how I know his name. But okay, so he's fighting. I like Tozawa. Tozawa's funny, at least.
I like how you just completely went from one topic to... Anyways.
So what other matches do you think will be at Elimination Chamber?
I don't know what other matches there could be. I mean, they do keep kind of bringing in this whole Charlotte and Becky thing. Let's just talk about this real quick because we talked about Raw, right? SmackDown.
Who's Asuka gonna fight?
Here's my thing. Okay, did you notice on SmackDown that they played a little vignette for Asuka? Like, and I mentioned in last week's episode, I'm like, Asuka's like an afterthought. Like, no one's acknowledging the fact that she made Becky Lynch tap and retain the title. Yep. No one's acknowledging the fact that happened and that she hasn't been on SmackDown since. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to, hey, I'm the champ, I'm gonna defend my championship, right? You know, the whole thing with Ronda from how many episodes ago when she said that. We haven't seen Asuka. She's been kind of off the radar. And they played this vignette where I remember they started playing it on SmackDown, and I was like, oh, they're finally showing something with Asuka. And I totally thought at one point when there was that promo with Charlotte, I could have sworn that, like, I was like, oh, Asuka's going to come out any minute. Nope, didn't come out. They played that vignette. And did you notice, because, you know, this is a woman who was undefeated for like 900 something days, Vance, okay?
Yeah.
And her vignette that they played was really cool, but did you see something missing from that vignette, Vance? They didn't show her beating Becky. They didn't show Becky attacking her. That almost doesn't even exist.
And even when they talk about this knee injury and all this, it's not because of Asuka.
No. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I mean, what could possibly happen at Elimination Chamber that could potentially involve Asuka?
I mean, she's got to defend the title at that pay-per-view, right?
She has to. But who against who?
I don't want to see Charlotte Asuka again. Do you?
Yeah, no. I mean, we already saw that. It was a great match, but it's like,
so who else?
I mean,
and they're loading all the women up into this fucking Elimination Chamber tag match. So who's really on the SmackDown roster to challenge her?
I was trying to think of like what other women are left other than Becky, other than Charlotte.
Is Naomi in the tag title thing?
She's partnered with Carmella. Carmella is her tag partner. Another odd like partnership. I don't know. They're like, oh, we need more tag factions. So you two.
Like, oh, Carmella, you're with the black guy. Well, now you're with the black girl.
Dude, do you think they like pull straws or something, or put like numbers in a hat? Like, all right, here you go.
Honestly,
look! I pulled Naomi's name. I guess we're partners.
You ever seen the Family Guy episode where it talks about how manatees write South Park?
What?
They're manatees. Look, see, like they're manatees, and they have different things, and they hit them, And that just creates the episodes, like different ideas and words. I feel like that's what the WWE writer room looks like. Is it's just fucking manatees putting random fucking balls with names on them together and being like, oh yeah, Carmella and Naomi, sure, that works. Why not?
Okay, Vance. Okay.
I don't know. It's just like they're fucked. Like, I don't get how you can have the same team of writers every week and they can knock it out of the park one week. And then the very next week, it is the worst thing you've ever seen in your life. Like, there's just there's no continuity.
No, there is no continuity. Clearly, as we've seen with Becky Lynch's knee brace.
Yeah, exactly.
Continuity,
I don't know. Let's talk more about the other matches that we think could happen at Elimination Chamber. I mean, you get Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor. I think that could be a possibility for the title.
I guess now, instead of chasing the Universal Championship, which he was the first person to win, right? The first ever Universal Champ. I guess now he's going to be chasing after the IC title.
Yeah.
You see what they did too?
Which is where he belongs.
Like, it was like Kim versus Lashley, and then Lashley was all like, you know what, I don't think you're worthy, so I want you to fight Lio Rush now.
Little Rush.
And if you can beat Lio Rush, then I guess you deserve a shot at the title. Like, the fuck?
And he did.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been pissed. Okay. I would have been really fucking mad. I'm like, really? Lio Rush fucking won this? Like, come on, dude. But, so I guess there's that now happening.
Well, he's just an ordinary man who can do extraordinary things. Oh, no. Is he an extraordinary man?
He's an extraordinary man.
Ordinary
God damn it. Extraordinary man who can do extraordinary things. Anyways.
I think that Michael Cole saying that and it's boss time are my two least favorite things.
Wait, Michael Cole saying that?
When Michael Cole goes, it's boss time every single time Sasha Banks comes out.
Yeah.
My Sasha slide.
Wait, was that your Sasha like impersonation?
That's my Sasha legit boss thing.
Yeah, I want those rings so I can be like, yeah, I'm a legit boss, bitch.
See, I think that would be another thing that wouldn't translate well in the real world.
Yeah, no, right? If I wore that to work, could you imagine? Like,
but it's just like a whole bunch. Like, if you imagine someone buying like the Jeff Hardy wristband, the band things, and like wearing them out. Like, there's just certain shit you can't wear.
No.
Like, remember I had those fucking AJ Styles gloves?
Yeah. Like, are you gonna go for a bike ride, Vance? No, I'm just kidding.
I use them to do like maintenance work and shit. People are looking at me like, what the fuck what gloves are you wearing? They're blue.
Yeah.
So
when you
I don't
put
know.
your hands together.
That's true. Yeah.
P1.
P1, baby.
They don't want
that. Yeah. Cruz, what do you think is the best piece of merchandise WWE shop has ever offered?
Ooh,
and what do you think is the worst piece of merchandise the WWE shop has ever offered?
You know what? I occasionally look at their shop and I always see random shit where I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you sell something like this? But now I can't think of anything that would be, I can't think of the last thing that I saw on there that's the worst piece of merchandise. Let me think for a minute. Because they sell everything other than t-shirts and like replica belts, which I think is the coolest. They have like little cozies and
they got shot glasses, they got fucking
they've got gym bags, they've got even cardboard cutouts and stuff. I'm trying to think of what the dumbest thing I've ever seen on there is. I can't think right now at the top of my head. Well, what's the dumbest thing you've seen on there, Vance? Let's consult the app, shall we? The WWE.
I would say.
Okay,
I'd say the dumbest and the coolest. It might be the same thing.
The dumbest
because yeah, so they have a replica Money in the Bank briefcase, like a real.
You're
metal
right.
briefcase.
They do have that, don't they? Oh my god!
I want to meet the guy who has an office job and loves WWE so much that he uses the Money in the Bank briefcase as his daily briefcase. And everyone in that office is like, here comes Tim again with his fucking gold briefcase. I would be that guy. If I had a job where I had to wear like a tie and shit and needed, like, even if I didn't need a briefcase, I would have the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I work in an office, but I don't carry a briefcase when I go to the office. But you know what?
You should get the Money in the Bank briefcase and bring that.
I should just like start going to work with that. And then when we have manager meetings, just hold on, guys, I gotta get my laptop out and then just open up the briefcase.
That's it. You go, I'm cashing in. You open it.
For those in the Going Over universe watching and or listening, if you want to send me a Money in the Bank briefcase, you can to the address below.
But yeah, there's a lot of stupid shit on the WWE shop. I saw a Stone Cold Steve Austin cornhole game.
Wait.
I saw that on there because I like to surf the clearance section.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of the dumb shit is in the clearance section. For real.
Every fucking like 3 pay-per-views ago, like all the shirts they sold only those pay-per-views. Like right now, it's all like SummerSlam New York shit on there. Like there's all kinds of just dumb shit.
Yeah, I want to buy a shirt to an event that I was not there for.
Yeah, why would you not want to do that?
I mean, I guess.
Hey, Cruz, today is 50% off all apparel. Oh, the Money in the Bank briefcase is only $44.99.
That's really cheap. Wait, why is it blue?
I wouldn't want a blue one.
No, I'd want like a silver one. What are you talking about?
How many varieties of Money in the Bank briefcases do you think this has?
Does it give you color options, Vance, where you can choose like I want it in blue or I want it in
if you want the blue one is $44.99.
Okay.
The green one is $84.99.
Oh.
The women's, which is white, is $84.99. And the gold one, which is the one I would get. I mean, look at this thing. That thing is beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah.
You get a tight shot on that? $84.99. This is how they describe it. Ready? High quality plastic, not a metal briefcase. Fully functional briefcase with combination lock and key.
It's got a combination lock on it, for fuck's sake.
Let's read some of the reviews of the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Okay,
there are, it's rated 9 out of 10 stars, 503 reviews. Should we sort by most recent, most helpful, lowest score, or highest score?
Oh my God. Let's start with the lowest. Let's see what the lowest.
Start lowest. See what people are saying. Why would people be pissed after they bought this?
Yeah. Why? What are they mad about? The plastic.
1 out of 10.
I didn't know it was plastic.
Pamela in Gordon, Alabama says, "This is terrible. The hinges were broken when I received it. It didn't send back because my nephew was so excited to get it, and he cried when I told him I needed to return it. For $80, I think it should have been better constructed."
Okay.
Let's see.
Read another one.
1 out of 10. Daniel in Bloomington, Minnesota. Pros, none. I'm horribly disappointed in it. Cons, feels really cheap. Hinges broke. Not metal like the real one.
Well, it says plastic on there. Anyways, go on.
Here's a good one. Paula in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Pro, looks real. Con, the lock is horrible. As a 38-year-old adult, it is very difficult to get it open and close, let alone lock and unlock it. I purchased it for a 6-year-old who can only look at it unless we help him. Horribly made product. WWE, you should be ashamed.
Wow, that's a pretty harsh review on a fucking plastic briefcase. But anyways, give me one good review that someone had to say about this.
A high score? Okay.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Gave as a Christmas gift and was very well received and appreciated. Yeah, because it was a gift. She didn't have to fuck with the hinges and the lock.
Oh my God. Okay, read another one then. Let's see if there's any.
Trey in Milwaukee. Pro, great lookalike. Con, Money in the Bank logo is a sticker. What did he think the logo would be?
Did he think it was going to be painted on there?
Hand painted.
Handcrafted.
Are they hand painted?
By Vince McMahon
right
himself. I'm just kidding.
Hey, do you think they have the fucking wooden WWE belt yet?
You know what? I'm telling you, if they can't come out with that sustainable belt, I will probably buy a replica of that just because it's funny. It doesn't look bad either. Like I was expecting when we were making jokes about having a sustainable belt in past episodes, I didn't imagine it to look like that. So that actually was pretty good. Vance,
it looks like it's weird. It looks like it's weird to hold though, like wooden blocks.
And yeah, no, for sure. Vance, let's get into news, shall we?
Yeah. Yes. So like we talked about earlier, Randy Orton allegedly is in talks with AEW, and he also has said to sources that he is very open to speaking with AEW. Now, I think this is all a contract ploy because Randy Orton isn't actually the kind of guy who seems like he wants to change the world of wrestling. He seems like a guy who's like, oh, I'm collecting a paycheck, So I don't really. I think a lot of guys you're going to see rumors of AEW so they can get more money.
Right.
Also, the rumored main event for SummerSlam has been leaked.
Holy shit!
As of
already?
Right now, yes, we're looking at Becky Lynch versus Stephanie McMahon.
Really?
Garbage.
Really?
That's the rumored main event as of now, internally for SummerSlam.
What the? Okay, all right, okay. Internally, rumors internally. Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, the other news is Vince McMahon has held several internal meetings about pulling out all the stops and doing everything we possibly can to raise the ratings because Fox is very hesitant about how much money they paid for a TV deal for SmackDown Live due to the viewership dropping so much. So I think we're going to see a lot of fucking things go on between now and WrestleMania and even after WrestleMania. In fact, they already announced today on the WWE Instagram that there will be an international superstar shakeup a week after WrestleMania.
An international superstar shakeup.
Which could be cool because maybe you'll see guys from the main roster go to NXT and NXT UK guys go to 205 Live. And like you see this whole fucking mishmash, melting pot of talent.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
So that is the news items. Cruz, what does the Going Over universe have to say?
Okay, so I just asked a standard question. I think we already know the answer to this question. It was almost kind of pointless to ask this, but it's interesting to see the responses to this. I basically asked the Going Over universe, who do you want to see main event at WrestleMania? And the only options that I gave for the poll, because Twitter only allows you to put 4 options.
Right.
So the first one is Seth versus Brock, Ronda versus Becky, Ronda versus Becky versus Charlotte, or none of the above, and to list who. So if they chose the 4th option, they have to tweet like who they want to see. And 47% chose Ronda versus Becky.
No,
29% said Ronda, Becky, Charlotte. 16% said none of the above, and 8% chose Brock versus Seth. And some of the responses on here, at John Moriarty Jr. says it's not even a debate. Becky Lynch and Ronda. And then let's see here. At DHAM says it's 100% needs to be Ronda Becky. And then at Terry J. Pats Fan 12 says either of the ladies matches, those have a more compelling storyline than Brock and Seth. And I don't
think they started the build yet for Brock and Seth, though.
Not really. No. That's absolutely true. And And on the Instagram, everybody is basically saying Ronda versus Becky. Ronda versus Becky, Ronda versus Becky. Someone else said Becky, Ronda, but it'll probably end up being a triple threat with Charlotte. Everyone else is saying triple match with Charlotte. Only 2 people said Seth versus Brock. Everybody else is saying mostly Ronda versus Becky, and then a few people are saying a triple threat match between Ronda, Becky, and Charlotte.
I mean, we're both on the same page that we think Ronda and Becky, right? No Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Charlotte was thrown into the mix. Because if you think about it, you know, her and Becky both kind of have their own bone to pick with Ronda with what happened at TLC. But I honestly, if I had to choose, like absolutely choose, I would say Ronda versus Becky for sure. But I don't know. Do you think that? What do you think the high probability is? I mean, with this whole knee thing that they're putting into play, right?
I think that they're going to hype it so it doesn't look like it's going to be Ronda versus Becky, and they're going to do Ronda versus. They have to do Ronda versus Becky.
They have to, because we already saw Charlotte versus Ronda already. That's already been a done
right.
deal.
Unless they're looking ahead of, like, you know, if women headline WrestleMania, Charlotte Flair's name should be there too.
And that's where what I am thinking. I'm actually glad you brought that up, because we talked about this earlier in the show about how, you know, anybody that doesn't watch wrestling, they know who Charlotte Flair is, right?
Right.
Anybody that doesn't watch wrestling most likely probably doesn't know who Becky Lynch is. Now, and you mentioned something about like selling tickets, et cetera, and so forth. So if they're going to do a main event, because if you think about it, Vance, we have to remember that originally at TLC, was it TLC? Originally it was supposed to be, it was Evolution, right? No, which one was it when Becky got injured?
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series. That's the one. So Survivor Series originally was supposed to be Becky versus Ronda. Everyone kept saying Becky versus Ronda at Survivor Series, and then we're going to have Charlotte versus Ronda at WrestleMania. Remember that?
Right.
Then, you know, Becky legitimately got injured, and like, fuck, now she can't fight in Survivor Series. So now it's Charlotte. So now they had to like flip-flop everything around, and it almost feels like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't think this could have worked out any better.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that they got to delay the match and the fact that these injuries keep happening, it's just making the fans want Ronda versus Becky more and more. Because when have they really had like a confrontation?
That's true.
They've never really laid hands on each other.
No, that's true.
It's all just talking smack and shit.
Yeah.
So I think that the big payoff is going to be WrestleMania.
Yeah, you're right. You're probably right about that.
So.
Damn. Well, that's from the Going Over universe on their thoughts on that. I mean, it's kind of a given. That's how everybody seems to feel. Obviously, Becky is way over. She's way past over, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
The fans. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the upcoming weeks. Because, you know, we're already on the road to WrestleMania right now. And Elimination Chamber's coming up. And again, we don't know, like, what's going to happen with Asuka. Is Asuka going to magically have a match happen at Elimination Chamber? Like, what's going to happen with that? We haven't seen her. Where do you think Asuka is right now? Do you think that because she's kind of overshadowed by all this, it just doesn't matter? And they're like, whatever. Like, what are your thoughts?
I just think that they're so concerned with this women's tag title match at Elimination Chamber that half the fucking women's roster are in that one match.
So it almost kind of works. It almost kind of works out in their favor. Like, oh, we don't really need to be concerned with anything to do with.
And I don't think Ronda's going to defend the belt at fucking.
No. There's no way. No.
So I mean, what title? Who's the U.S. champion?
R-Truth. Did we even talk about that last week? We didn't, did we? I don't think we did. R-Truth.
Talk about what's up.
Vance. R-Truth defended his. Oh my God. He won the belt from Nakamura, right?
Yep.
And then, what's his name came out? Rusev. And then he put the belt on the line, and all you're thinking is like, oh God, R-Truth, you're stupid. You're gonna lose the belt right fucking out. I honest to God thought when he lifted the belt up and was all like, we're putting the belt on the line, I was like, he's gonna totally lose it. But then he beat Rusev and retained, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening here, dude?
Well, Vince loves R-Truth. They're like,
well, they're best friends.
Homies.
They're like fucking besties, bro.
It's so weird. But like, who do you think R-Truth is gonna feud with? Like, is it gonna be Nakamura and Rusev?
I don't know, because there's that weird thing between Rusev and Nakamura now. Did you see that? How like,
I will tag match.
I will team up with you this one time. That's my Rusev impersonation.
That was such a weird tag match with Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah, what the fuck was that all about, dude? What the fuck was that all about?
Dumb. That was so dumb.
So
I really want R-Truth to just keep coming out and saying that he's the Intercontinental Champion. Like, I'm here to defend my Intercontinental title.
I miss seeing R-Truth think that every blonde on the roster is the Mrs. Wife.
He's the best. I like R-Truth. He actually is good. But I just don't think that he should be the United States champion. I think that there's so many people on that roster. Like, you got Andrade, you got fucking Rey Mysterio on that roster, you got Mustafa Ali, you have some real legit contenders on that roster. And
yeah, man.
your secondary title belongs to a gimmick, like a joke character.
Yeah. But see, you know,
and it's nothing against R-Truth. It's just, I just think that.
No. I agree. I'm in total agreement with you on that. For sure. Yeah. What was it? Dance break.
Dance breaks. The dance break.
Yeah.
So. All right, Cruz. Well, I am going to go fucking stream this AEW ticket release party live from Las Vegas.
Oh, we have 20 minutes,
the Elite
so we can
special guests.
We can both fucking catch that shit in 20 minutes. So
yeah, I'm super stoked for this.
Yeah, pretty excited.
Think Kenny Omega's going to be there?
I was just going to ask you that because that's a newsworthy thing right there. We haven't heard from Kenny Omega. The only thing he mentioned last was, I'm going to be doing something internationally. What was it that exactly he said, Vance?
Did you watch Being the Elite this week?
No, I did not. La 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 la.
It's so good. It's so good. It ends with Kenny Omega, and it's so good.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that now.
It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. And also, if you haven't watched it yet, go on the Nightmare Family YouTube, which is Cody Rhodes' YouTube, and there's a great 2 5-minute features called The Road to Double or Nothing. And the first one is about like how they got the MGM Grand Arena, and they signed Jimmy Havoc, who's this major hardcore wrestler from Progress Wrestling, who's an amazing catch. This guy, he was supposed to be in NXT, but he was a little too extreme for them. And now he's going to AEW. AEW is shaping up to be just really, really impressive.
Pretty stoked about it.
Fanboy.
Well, I guess this podcast is officially going over, Vance, wouldn't you say?
I would say so, Cruz the Crusher. And until next time, same going over channel, same going over time.
And you can find me at Annie fucking Cruz on Twitter, at Annie Cruz on Instagram. Vance, where can we find you?
You can find me at your local bar, drinking and hitting on cougars.
All right, well, that's Cruz across.
By the way, how about the Patriots? How about those Patriots, Cruz?
You know what? Go Lakers.
Still here, baby.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke. That's me saying I don't give a fuck about football.
I like my sports predetermined, bitch.
The only sports I watch is scripted. Okay. No, I'm not even joking. A buddy of mine was trying to invite me to Super Bowl, like some Super Bowl shindig. Like, hey, you got any Super Bowl plans? And I'm like, listen, dude, literally my response was the only sports I watch are violent scripted ones. So that's what I'm doing for Super Bowl Sunday. Okay.
So I went to a Boston bar for Super Bowl Sunday. And during halftime, while everyone else is watching shirtless Adam Levine.
Let's talk about this.
I am sitting in a men's room stall with earpods on, fucking watching halftime heat.
Can I just say that halftime heat
way better?
If nobody watches NXT, like if you're a wrestling fan and you watch WWE but you don't watch NXT for whatever reason, that show right there, that halftime heat show should be more than enough to be like, this is why NXT is so fucking awesome. You know,
unfucking believable.
Fire. So fire. Oh my God, that match was
fucking when Adam Cole with that Canadian Destroyer on Ricochet. It was like a video game.
Yeah, that
It was
match,
unbelievable.
that was a really, really good match. And then, of course, the Velveteen Dream.
Velveteen coming out strong.
Yeah.
Coming out strong. Purple Rain, baby.
Purple Rain. And when you say rain, you mean REIGN.
I'm actually going to NXT this Saturday at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium here in good old Massachusetts.
Oh,
so
shit!
I will hopefully be seeing the Velveteen Dream.
That's amazing. I'm jelly.
Yeah,
I'm jelly.
I'm gonna wear my AEW sweatshirt and see if I get thrown out.
That's amazing. Hopefully you don't.
I'll keep you posted. I will go live on my Instagram if security decides to fondle me. Fondle.
Frisk you? Frisk you?
Frisk me. Is it frisk?
Sir, we have to make sure.
What's it called when they aggressively remove?
Well, they frisk you when they pat you down. That's frisking.
Excavate. If they excavate, no.
And then if they want to make sure you don't have any drugs on your person, then sometimes they'll put some gloves on and be like, we're going to give you a cavity search. But I don't think they're going to do that at NXT. That's more like at the airport.
So you're saying don't bring drugs to the show.
Yeah.
If I wear my AEW shirt, don't bring drugs. If I wear like an style shirt, bring drugs. And on that note, Cruz, I would say this episode is going over.
And this is Cruz the Crusher going over and out.
And Vance the man dancing.
We really need to come up with a new name.
Going over. I need a nickname. If you can Instagram me or tweet me a nickname, I'd appreciate that.